Welcome to the Box Score Sports Podcast.
Let's get into it, Eric. Let's start with our great for week 4. Give me your great.
I am actually going to go with the New York Football Giants.
Mm-hmm.
You got Jackson Dart at his first start versus, I believe, the 3-0 Chargers at that time. And the Chargers have a good defense, and I know Dart didn't put up that amazing stat line, but to get your first win with the rookie quarterback and against a very tough opponent, and he didn't perform terrible. I mean, he didn't have jaw-dropping numbers, but again, it's his first start in the NFL. He rushed for a touchdown. I think he passed for one too. And to be honest, this might be the greatest point of the Giants season this year now that Malik Neighbors is out for season. So gotta take what you can get when when stuff like this goes wrong for your team.
Yeah, I would have actually. So we do the great, good, bad, and ugly. You picked the Giants for your great, so I'm not gonna repeat it. I would have put Giants in my good just because it was a good win. But with Neighbors going down for the year, that that's huge bummer for Giants fans. And Dart had 111 total yards passing. It wasn't like he was amazing. He played good enough to win, and I feel like the Chargers also. So they basically the game was close the entire way, and their running back Hampton had 12 carries for 128 yards off of 10 yards per carry. Um, I don't know why the Chargers didn't run the ball more. I'm not quite sure because that is the weakness of the Giants defense. Instead, they were like, hey, we're going to run the ball 41 times. I mean, pass the ball 41 times. So there was some things that led to that victory that I'm just like, well, I think if this game was played 10 times, the Giants would probably have won one time. And this is the one time. So that's why I would have put it in the good. But I can also understand why it's a great because I think this is what Giants fans wanted. They wanted Scadaboo, who's now starting there as a running back with Tracy injured, and they wanted Jackson Dart in there over Russell Wilson, and to start off with a win. Giants fans were pumped at the stadium. Let's give a great to the Giants fans for sticking in and like cheering their hearts out at the Giants stadium. That was pretty cool. So yeah, I guess I understand why it's a great.
Any rookie quarterback that wins their week one game, their first week against 3-0 team, I don't care if the team has self-inflicted wounds or not. That's pretty great in my book.
Well, yeah, and to add to your great is usually Harbaugh. He's really good against rookie quarterbacks. Typically
Yeah.
he wins. So yeah, I'm with you there. Okay, I'll concede it. I didn't fight you about it, so I'll concede it. I'll give it a grade as well. I'll let you do that. I'm gonna give my grade to the Atlanta Falcons. Now, granted, again, if you want to make some, excuses for why they won. They did not get to play Jaden Daniels, but I will say after the chaos of last week of getting rid of your receiving coach, putting a different receiver coach in, having your offensive coordinator to come down to the field, it had all the makings of like some huge red flags that would derail the season. But instead, they get Washington at home, and this might be just a difference between them playing at home and on the road. We'll see. But Penix had over 300 yards passing with 2 touchdowns with a 90 QBR. The running backs, 33 carries for 126 yards and 2 touchdowns. Can we free Tyler Algier, by the way, because that guy's a monster. I wish he would be on a different team. I love Bijan Robinson. I like him, but I think Algier could start for a team. And Pitts had 5 receptions for 70 yards and a touchdown. London, 8 receptions, 110 yards and a touchdown. And Bijan Robinson had over 180 total yards. So I think from the chaos they went through last week where they didn't score against the Panthers, or they only scored like, did they score 10 or 0? I can't remember.
They got shut out.
Yeah, they scored 0. So from going from that sort of drama to now beating Washington and putting up the numbers they did offensively, I'm just going to give them a grade because most teams probably would have floundered in that situation.
Yep, they did what they needed to do. They came back after getting shut out. London looked every bit like the weapon he's supposed to look. Robinson did. Like a lot of Atlanta Falcon fans talk about the 1-2 punch, and like you said, Algier could start on a good number of teams. Kyle Pitts looked like what they drafted him to be, so he can give the Atlanta Falcons a false hope of being a good tight end. And then
And every fantasy owner,
it
by
was
the
a
way.
really no, I was the fantasy owner, so I dropped him last week. But it's one of those things where you're like, you're if you're a Falcon fan, you're excited. You had to win this week. Well, you didn't have to, but you definitely should win this week. And you looked a lot better, and you needed to. So that's an awesome win for Atlanta.
Yeah, and one other thing I mentioned when we talked negatively about Atlanta, I think last week, is the yards per average that Penix was throwing it was 4.8 last week, yards per attempt or catch or whatever. This week it was 12. So they unloaded his arm, which they should have done because that's supposed to be his strong suit is having kind of a big arm. So good for them. You ready to move on to the good? Thanks so much for watching this clip of the Box Score Sports Podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to our channel. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter or X. And we'll talk to you guys real soon. See ya.